Yo, welcome back to another episode, Nothing Agreed. Back with the basic rendition of the NFL. We are back, baby. We are ready to go, lock and loaded. Barron, this is now week 8.
Week 8 is in the books.
Yep. So how are we feeling?
Yeah.
At least, I'm going to ask you personally, as an Eagles fan, how are you feeling after that big win?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good?
We'll get into the Philly special part of the show soon.
Of course. I'm
you
also
worry.
feeling pretty good as well.
I would assume so.
You know, a win, and you covered the spread. And you had a dog win as well. Your team did. And you had a dog win as well. But we'll get to all of those.
Yes, I did.
We'll get to all of those.
Just want to jump right into it. We got a lot to do today.
We do have a lot to do because technically there are no buys this week. So we got a lot of games to go through.
Let's jump right in. Do you want to go off yours or mine?
We'll go off yours.
All
We'll
right.
start with the Eagles-Bengals.
All right, I guess we'll jump right into it.
Eagles-Bengals. Saquon Barkley, another game with over 100 yards. Defense made some big plays, specifically that interception by C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but off the tip as
Isaiah
well.
Rodgers, big play.
Fourth down stops.
I wouldn't call it the Saquon Barkley game, though.
What would you call it?
It was the Jalen Hurts game. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 total touchdowns, outplayed, what's his face, Joe Burrow. I mean, isn't this a guy who's a top 3 quarterback in the league? I've been saying he's not that good.
I wouldn't say he's a top 3 quarterback in the league, but he's definitely up there.
Might be a little biased, but walked into Cincinnati and showed them who Daddy was. So
there you go.
Can't be more happy about that. Although I did want to bring up one thing. I sat up here last episode and I was talking so much about Quinyon Mitchell, right, and how good he's been against top players in pass coverage. So I actually found some of the stats.
Oh, you actually have it.
I have it right here.
Okay, last time he was just saying these.
Last time I was
sources.
Yeah,
so.
But now I've got the actual.
Show it to the
stats.
camera. Let's see it. Just show it to the camera.
All right, well, it's just a screenshot.
Okay.
This is just the top receivers he's had in coverage the past few games, right?
Okay.
So it didn't.
But he's not guarding these guys 100%.
No, he's not guarding them all the time.
So
the game stats, they might have a lot more, but these are the stats when he's guarding them.
Okay, go ahead.
And one last disclaimer, doesn't include any for the Packers game. I guess they don't consider Packers receivers to be top receivers in the league.
No, they're not.
But all right. So week 2, start with that one against the Falcons.
Yep.
Matched up with Drake London, number 1 receiver.
Uh-huh.
Held him to 5 yards.
Yeah. Also held him to a W too.
Yeah, that's fine.
that's fine. Quinyon Mitchell.
It's fine.
Quinyon Mitchell propaganda, but we lost, but that's fine.
It's okay. 5 yards. I'm not happy about that. Next game, Chris Olave, 23 yards.
Damn, so you're almost talking a 5 times increase from the week before.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Pretty bad, right?
5-time increase, actually pretty bad.
Yeah. Next week, Tampa Bay, Mike Evans, 19 yards.
Nice. Didn't Mike Evans have? No, I don't think he had the best game. That was in Tampa, right?
Yeah. No, Mike Evans had a game.
I thought he had a good game.
He did have a good game. Quinyon Mitchell was only on him a few times, but that was also that when they were talking trash to each other. When Mike Evans was like, "Oh yeah, we're whooping y'all," and he's like, "You only got 1 catch on me though," and that was the
nice.
1 catch, 19 yards.
Okay,
nice. You remember the pass? Yeah, 3 more pass.
I also remember them be like, your DB being like, "Oh, let's go play Fortnite together."
Oh, Maddox.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me started on him. He's been replaced by Cooper DeJean. Anyway, getting off track. Browns game, Amari Cooper, still on the Browns at that point, 10 yards.
Yeah, he had Deshaun Watson thrown to him.
Yeah,
so.
that's a little fair.
Yeah.
To be fair. Probably would have done better with Jameis Winston, but
famous Jameis.
You never know. Malik Neighbors, probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
No.
I don't think so, but that's what people are saying.
No. It's still Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams is higher than him, too.
I don't even think Jaden Daniels deserves Offensive Rookie of the Year. He deserves the MVP.
That's crazy.
Anyway, regardless, Malik Neighbors.
I'm taking Josh Allen.
Malik Neighbors is – that's another – I don't hate that either. But Malik Neighbors, probably the best rookie wide receiver out of this class so far, 9 yards. And don't try and tell me Daniel Jones was throwing to him.
I could definitely say that.
But no, because Daniel Jones only throws to him. He is or
that's
Malik
not true. He also throws the other team, too.
Okay, that's fair. Malik Neighbors leads the league in targets for a receiver.
Makes sense. He dropped a couple passes last night.
He did. And then to round it all out, coming into week 8, the league leader in receiving yards, Jamar Chase, 16 yards.
Dang, good for him.
So that's just to reinforce my case for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I wonder how many yards Didn't Jamar have a touchdown, though?
He did, but not on him.
9 catches for 54 yards and a tutty. Yeah, you would think for all these numbers are showing that, I don't know, your stupid-ass coach Nick Sirianni would put him on more one-on-one.
Hey, Nick Sirianni doesn't do defensive scheming. He's the hype guy.
That's right.
And I love my hype guy.
He should get fired.
No, he shouldn't.
Yes, he should.
No, he shouldn't.
If y'all had Bill, you would have 4. You wouldn't have lost the Falcons. You'd be 6-1.
Nah, we're fine.
Remember, we still have our bet.
I know. I feel so good about that.
You feeling good about it?
There's maybe 2 games we lose the rest of the season.
Okay. Ravens, you think you win that or lose that?
Now I think we can win it, but I'll be fair.
I wouldn't be surprised if you lost to the Steelers too.
I think we can beat the Ravens.
Okay. Commanders too. You saw the Commanders twice.
That is true.
That's true. And then Dallas is always tough.
I'm not worried about that.
Dallas is always tough.
Yeah, but I'm not worried
Panthers
about
might give you a run for your money.
All right,
let's go to the next
Let's
game.
move on. Next, I have
Browns.
Browns.
All right. Well, I want to say
Browns Ravens.
First of all, sorry to Jameis Winston. I predicted that you'd have 1 or 2 interceptions.
No. Hold on. So remember
But I did say he's my goat. He's my goat.
Do you remember last week?
I was defending him.
You remember last week I said he's gonna have over 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have to do the interceptions, and he didn't do the yards either.
He didn't have over 350.
No. 334.
Close enough though.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if the Ravens defensive backs could catch, he would have 3 interceptions. He might have that.
So.
But great game from Jameis Winston.
Famous Jameis. You see the stat, my bad. You see the stat where it was like, Deshaun Watson hasn't thrown 300 yards in 17 games, and it was like Flacco and Jameis are 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah. I mean,
that's sad,
it's
though.
just a differential in play style.
I saw Jameis is going to become the Black Flacco on Twitter.
I mean,
the way he'll just bounce around teams and do what he does when carries a mid-team.
That's true.
I was like, all right.
Well, I forget which episode it was, but do you remember when I said that like old guys like Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, like those gunslinger quarterbacks, you don't see them as much in today's game?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when when these backup guys from the game of old step in and play like that, and everyone's like, "Wow, what is this?" I'd really just think it's because we're not used to seeing quarterbacks play like that anymore. Because now you have all these like dual threat quarterbacks who can run, who can pass, and most of the schemes are played out of the RPO and letting the quarterback make the play. But yeah, when you have gunslingers, pocket passers like in the days of old, they come out here and they ball. And I do think that fits the. I think it's good for the Browns right now because they've been struggling.
The Browns. Congratulations to the Browns for the victory. But let's keep it between, like the honesty here. You should have lost that game.
No,
the Ravens forgot how to catch on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Do you remember the
It's catching drills all week for the Ravens.
Do you remember the Kyle Hamilton drop?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The last second.
That was awful.
That was awful. It was pretty brutal.
Hit him in the chest. Bobbled it 4 times. If he held on, that game was over.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
So yeah, I do think that it's another. That's 2 games this season the Ravens have beat themselves.
Yeah, what's the other one you think?
The Raiders.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, two bad losses this season for the Ravens. Not good when you're trying to keep up this.
Especially in the AFC North, which we know is currently the Steelers division right now.
Yeah.
But we know between the Bengals and the Browns, it's a little low heavy, but we know the Bengals can definitely.
No, those 2 teams are done.
I'm still saying that Bengals can still become that team that shoots you out. So
no, their season's over.
But they're okay. Okay. Also, they're 0-4 at home, which is kind of sad. The 3-1 on the road though. So let me say,
I know another unwon team that hasn't won at home, and their season's over too.
And who's that?
We'll get to them.
Okay, stay with me though. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The Bengals, even if their season's over, they don't make the playoffs. They can still beat you. Right?
Okay, that's
what I'm saying. So as those division opponents, you got to be a little scared about that. So
well, to be fair, NFC North games, you never know.
AFC North
games, you never know what's going to happen. But from what I've seen this year, the Steelers should beat the Bengals twice, and the Ravens should beat the Bengals again.
All right. You want to move on?
Yeah, we can go on.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Browns.
Let's go over this game quickly.
Lions, Titans. Yes.
Lions have won 5 straight.
Mason Rudolph tried.
They had fun.
Yeah, they had fun. Titans.
Yeah,
suck.
shout out to the Titans. I know that they technically didn't score a point in the second half, but it was it was not a blowout immediately.
Yeah, it was 14-14 at one point.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley had like 100 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was going off. So.
But then Dan Campbell said enough.
And had David Montgomery throw a touchdown.
We're playing Madden.
Yeah.
This isn't a real
All
game,
right, yeah.
so we're going to have some fun.
Just to finish off, so move on. I feel like there's no other city that deserves this more than Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
So congratulations to y'all so far, but we know that we do want success later down the season. Cardinals-Dolphins. Cardinals mount a double-digit or close to double-digit, I think, 9-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Kyler Murray with over 300 yards, 2 tutties. Marvin Harrison Jr. had over 100 yards and 120 yards and touchdowns. So did Trey McBride.
I was about to say, yeah. Well, real quick to go back to the Lions and Eagles game, real quick. Like you said earlier, no bye weeks. So we had a very big slate.
Yeah.
Every single game was a one-score game except for the Eagles game and the Lions game.
There you go.
Early slate. Just wanted to
a good
bring
early slate.
Yeah, I mean, Cardinals played well right through the to the final tick. Trey McBride.
Trey McBride.
Yeah, I was about to say he's on my fantasy team. I was like, that sounds right. Yeah, he had a great game.
Yeah, I got pummeled in fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, I did too, but. At
nice.
least in one league. The other two I won, but yeah, Trey McBride, National Tight Ends game, good win. Dolphins.
Shout out National Tight End Day.
Where do they sit in the division? What's their record?
They're 2-5.
2-5. Tua's back.
You know what? Tua is back. Honestly, they had some games. The next team they play is the Bills on the road.
Oh God.
I don't think that's gonna be a win
They
either.
don't win
But you never know. Then they got Monday night in LA. I think they can win that. Then they have Raiders-Patriots at home. Those are winnable games.
They should win those 2 games.
Yeah, I mean.
Is that Packers I see?
Yeah. Packers on the road, a night game in Lambeau. So it's probably going to be really cold. It's 11:28. It's going to be really cold weather.
They lose that game.
They lose that game.
Yeah,
this is really a season where you're now surmounting an insane comeback to make the playoffs.
It might be too late.
Shout out the Cardinals, though. I think they should be top of the division.
They are.
Or
at least they're tied.
No, they're top because they beat the Niners.
You're right.
Yeah, and they have the better division record.
You're right.
So shout out the Cardinals. They're actually the team that I was thinking about might finish last in the division. So shout out the Cardinals, 4-4, 2-2 and 2-2 and away home splits. The definition of mediocrity, but currently number 1 in your division. So that's anything but mediocre. So yeah, congratulations to them. Get the game-winning field goal from Chatter Island.
Yes, sir.
Big dubs. We should move on to congratulations for you.
Thank you.
Once again, I'm in the dumps for Dog of the Day. Barron hits a 7-point victory with the Jets-Patriots. Last-second Patriots touchdown. I feel like the storyline is not going to be on the Patriots, though. It's going to be on the New York Jets.
Yeah. Their season's over.
Yeah.
We're going to be saying that a lot this episode,
Yeah.
but their season's over. What do you do if you're the owner? Because you clearly can't. There's no future with Aaron Rodgers.
No, there's not.
So
he's done.
But you'll probably get a high draft pick this year. So are you drafting a quarterback this year?
Yeah, you might have to.
I think you have to.
He's got one more year on his deal, and it's a $2 million. He's got a $14 million option for a $23 million cap hit because of the signing bonus as well.
Is that a player option or a team option?
I think it's a player, probably, because Aaron Rodgers. So.
Well, he might leave on his own free will.
He will stay for the money.
That's true. Unless another team wants to throw him a bag, but that would be best case scenario for the Jets. Because, you're stuck with him for another year. He's terrible. I don't want to say terrible, but he's not good anymore.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Defense, abysmal.
Not horrible, but everything is just in shambles with the Jets.
It's just bad.
I don't even know no coach is probably going to save that.
No. And you definitely don't want to throw a coach in there mid-season to try and fix this because they're screwed. They're not fixing shit.
Aaron Rodgers, donezo. I don't know, the career it's starting to fade away.
But now
I don't really have anything else to say about the Jets. We say it every week.
Well, my thing is, do you think you have enough assets and money and time to turn things around for all the young players on your team?
What do you mean, money and assets?
Like if you get rid of if you decide to move on from Aaron Rodgers, you need to get a good quarterback to utilize Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall.
They're gonna play Aaron Rodgers next year and draft a rookie quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna get pissed upset.
Yeah.
But he's still gonna play and not mentor him.
So if I'm a Jets young player, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, although he's not that young, but like young guys on the line too, I want out of there. Because this is a team that's not doing anything for a few years. They're in purgatory.
And they're probably gonna get good money if they stay though. So,
but
money's nice, taxes not.
Money, yeah. You know what though? In the words of Jalen Hurts, money's nice, but championships are better.
All right, buddy. Floyd Mayweather would disagree. Anyways, I want to move. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to talk about the Jets.
Okay, we can talk about the Patriots real quick.
It tires me to talk about the Jets. What do you want to talk about the Patriots for? Drake May got hurt.
I know, and Jacoby Brissett won the game. Shout out Jacoby.
Better backup quarterback than starter. Am I right?
Whoa.
What?
Drake May is a good quarterback.
I said about Jacoby Brissett. Better backup than starter because he
I thought you said
came in off the injury and did really well.
I'm sorry, I heard you said better backup than starter, and in my mind,
yeah,
you
for
said,
Jacoby.
But in my mind, I was like, oh, you said he's better than Drake May.
No.
Okay, I apologize.
A better backup than starter.
All right, you can go ahead.
All right, my next game. It was actually your next game. I think is the Falcons.
Yeah.
Okay. Falcons, Bucks. AJ Terrell, a little bit of a revenge game here. Thank God, because he needed it. Falcons offense looked great. Kyle Pitts almost sold us a little bit there with a second touchdown, but when Kyle Pitts wants to be good, he's a top 5 tight end in the league when he wants to be good.
When he wants to be good.
Yeah, when he actually tries. Bijan did good in the more the pass game today, but Kirk Chainz 4 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns total against the Bucks. We own the Bucks this year. I really don't have to say anything else other than this fourth quarter got a little scary, but
yeah, the safety. And then,
touchdown we gave up as well late.
Yeah,
not
concerning.
Not my favorite, but I loved our second quarter. I loved the Pitts touchdown, the second one. The Darnell Mooney one was nice. So, and Young Wake, who's got to hit that field goal to make it an 8-point game. But whatever. I digress. Honestly, there's not much either to talk about this game. Baker had another 300-yard, 3-touchdown day, 50 pass attempts. So he threw it a lot, but
no receivers to catch it.
It was nice to see Kyle Pitts kind of get out of stride. National tight end day voodoo magic.
There you go.
It was nice to see Jesse Bates still make some plays. Told you how important he is to this defense. And it was finally good to see AJ Terrell just turn up a little bit. So, yeah, something I was a little bit concerned about was AJ Terrell, and thank God he turned up just a tad bit. That's all I got to really say about the Falcons game. It was nice. It was a pretty clean game to me. So, nothing too crazy.
We can keep it moving right along then.
Packers Jaguars.
I mean, it's a good game from both teams.
I want to say credit to the Jaguars. Kudos to you.
They played very well, in my opinion, without no Travis Etienne. I still like Tank Bigsby, but if this is, again, the Jaguars have won 2 games, right? I don't want to say this loss should make you feel worse, because if anything, it should make you feel better. I mean, this is a good Green Bay Packers team.
Your season was over before this, in my opinion, at least for expectations wise.
That's fair.
Before this game and after this game.
Unfortunately, real thing. Christian Kirk out for the year.
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. out for 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
A little scary.
Still no ETN.
I know they have the Eagles or next.
Yep.
They do have the Eagles, so that should be a free win for the Eagles probably.
Lincoln Financial Field.
Should be nice. Again, all I want to say is clean game from Malik Willis, because Jordan Love went down a little bit later with the groin injury. It's not true, serious. Yeah. Josh Jacobs had a parade of running.
Oh, I know. He was on 2 of my fantasy teams.
Yeah, big Tucker Kraft catch as well. Yeah, Packers got it done, and they moved to 6-2, and they're really becoming a solid team in the NFC North.
Yeah. That
will probably be they could win the division, of course, because we still have a lot left to go in the season, but as it plays out, they won't.
Probably not.
And they'll be, in my opinion, I think they'll be a scarier team to face in the wild card than, let's say, an Eagles or Commanders.
It's probably true.
I think they will be.
We'll see. It depends on who they play.
Because I like the Eagles as a team as well, but I love the Eagles at Lincoln, and sometimes the road is a little scary because Lincoln is such a good environment. I feel like it sometimes helps y'all out so much. But the Packers are good on the road this year as well. I mean, they're 3-1. Y'all, I think, are also 3-1. Yep. So it's pretty even from both teams there. That's all I got to say about that, though.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forget that stupid Brazil game's a road game for them.
Yeah.
Not for us. Anyway.
Yeah, so the Packers technically undefeated on the road. not counting Brazil. So
not counting Brazil.
Texans Colts. If you want to talk about Anthony Richardson, we can talk about that. Getting tired.
I mean, he's just got to step it up.
Yeah, we know his passing. He's got to work on his accuracy a lot. But Texans NRG Stadium is the fortress, 4-0 for the Texans at home. That means they're 2-2 on the road at 6-2.
I would have liked to see the Texans win by more compared to how both teams played.
Scary to see Stephon Diggs go down with that non-contact knee injury,
especially as a fantasy owner,
especially as a fan. Okay, and someone concerned about players' health
and a fantasy owner.
But it is also, I think they've ruled him out for this upcoming week because it's a Thursday night game. It's a short turnaround. But what?
Never mind.
Who do you got to play?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I would do with me. Don't worry. I was struggling. My bench for fantasy this week was all injured except for Dalton Kincaid. And he had that touchdown.
I know he's stepping up.
But Njoku played better than him, so literally I couldn't have done anything.
So it's either take a pick between Michael Pittman, who's probably the biggest fantasy bust this year.
Depends who's playing at quarterback.
It's true, but if it's Anthony Richardson, you're screwed.
Yeah, or the other one.
Jordan Addison.
Jay's not terrible. It's a Sunday night game, too. He might step up.
That's true. Well, he didn't get the ball last primetime game, so.
True. That's all I got to say about C.J. Stroud. Almost 300-yard day. And I do want to say it's good for Josh Downs to get over 100 yards.
Yeah, he played well. Again, like I said, I feel like the Texans should have won by more considering the talent differential between these two teams and how the Colts played. But a win's a win. Congratulations. Let's move on. We can do this one quickly. Saints-Chargers. Saints season's also over. Derek Carr injury kind of sealed that.
MVP to Ladd McConkey for this game. Huge catch on the sideline.
Ladd McConkey game. That is right.
And then he had that back shoulder, I think, catch and contest as well. Yeah. Huge Ladd McConkey game.
Makes
Herbert looking like the Herbert that we saw with Brandon Staley a little bit with 280 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So shout out the Chargers, man. 4-3. Winning record, 2-1 in the Dome.
And the Saints now have a QB carousel.
They got the Browns on the road, the Titans, the Bengals. They have a 3-game home stretch, the Titans, Bengals, Ravens. Should be an interesting one to me. At least if you get that Browns win, you're sitting at 5-3. You can beat the Titans. You're sitting at 6-3. Those are 2 games that they're going to be favored to win.
And they could probably beat the Bengals.
They could probably beat the Bengals, especially the Bengals defense, especially that run defense of the Bengals. So
it is not good.
We'll see. But Chargers, man, sneaky team in the AFC. I will say, sneaky team.
Yep.
That could go out there and beat you if you don't stop their strength in the run game.
All right, these next 2, we can kind of do these quickly.
Bills Seahawks
dominate the Seahawks.
Stomp the Seahawks. No DK Metcalf.
Josh Allen and friends.
I think Josh Allen threw his first pick of the year.
He did.
Very sad to see, especially because we know of his
not my MVP.
turnovers. But still 283 and 2 touchdowns. James Cook over 100 yards, and then Khalil Shakir with over 100 yards as well. Look at the Bills, man. They're having fun. I know their 2 losses are the Texans on the road in the last second, and then the blowout from the Ravens. 2 away games, and they play at home to the Dolphins this week, so it should be fun.
They should win that game.
Should be fun.
All right. Broncos-Panthers. Unfortunately, Brooks thought
it looked nice after the opening drive. Xavier Legette.
Brooks thought Bryce Young was about to have his breakout game.
After the first drive, I was like, hold up. Like, we may have a chance here. Yeah.
No.
Biggest problem. 21 points given up in the second quarter.
Yep.
Bo Nix, almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sutton had exactly 100 yards on the dot. Just a complete game from the Broncos. Did a little bit of trickeration with a fake field goal and I think a fake punt maybe as well.
I mean, when you're playing the
Panthers,
when you're playing a glorified college football team, might as well.
You might as well try.
Yeah. Right.
Shout out to Bama, the Twitter page. So
no need to talk about the Panthers though. Chiefs-Raiders. Chiefs win by 7.
Yeah, Raiders came down and scored a last 30-second touchdown to make it a 1-possession game, but this was the Patrick Mahomes that we're more used to seeing with the 262 touchdowns. I don't think threw an interception either.
It's good. He leads the
league.
Good
for him. Yeah, so good for him. Bounce back game. Travis Kelce had his career day with 1090 and 1 tutty. So yeah, this is the Chiefs that we have known for the season, but it was a little bit of a different Chiefs than this season of more defensive side. It was the offensive side a little blossoming. Yeah. So and shout out Xavier Worthy.
But again, it is the Raiders. We'll see how they do next week.
Bears continue their winless on the road, and the Commanders continue their undefeated at FedEx, in the most improbable way possible. a little tangent for y'all. I was on the phone with my lovely girlfriend as this game was about to conclude. Everyone knows how to send the Hail Mary, and she was talking about she might take a job. So she was like, I don't know if I should take it. And, like, I'm watching it from the side, and I see the Hail Mary, and I'm like, this? She's like, what do you think? I'm like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, holy shit.
I mean, yeah, I was, like, jumping up and down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I'm not even a fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just crazy to see a Hail Mary, except for if you're a Bears fan.
Oh,
and FedEx was also, like, had a good amount of Bears fans in there, too. So it was very funny to see.
I think the funniest thing that came out of that was they were interviewing some Commanders fan, and he was talking like while the play is happening about how they almost won. So he's like, yeah, I mean, it was a close game, but like I really think like this is just more of a moral victory.
Yeah.
And then everyone erupts, and then he's like,
the reporter's getting in it too.
Yeah, and then someone grabs him. He's like, what happened? Turns around. He's like, what'd I say? Yeah, we won. And he's getting so excited.
So tough.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment from it all. Like,
the one thing
from the moral victory to the actual.
One thing I was going to say, without that throw, Jane Daniels had no touchdowns, but he had about 270 yards.
No, it was over 300.
Well, he had 300 because of that pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, over like about 270. DeAndre Swift had a game.
He did.
Scary Terry as well. Finally, as a QB, finally turning it up. That's what I'd like to see. In my opinion, I thought the Commanders should have won, but it was a really close game. Shout out the defenses of both teams. So, shout out them. But shout out the Commanders, man. 6-2. That's actually not a result you wanted to see, of course, as an Eagles fan.
No, I don't care.
You don't care?
We're gonna beat them.
Okay. All right, whatever. But it's still just an extra game that might, come down the wire.
Yeah,
so.
no, I get that. But, like, right now, as an Eagles fan, based on what I saw in Cincinnati, there's one team in the NFC that's going toe-to-toe with us.
And it's the Lions?
It's the Lions. All right, next game.
I think the Lions will beat y'all.
I think they could beat us, too, but we're gonna. That's the
I
ones.
I also think the Packers in a rematch will beat y'all.
No.
Okay,
They don't want to play. Okay, they've gotten better since our first game, but we've also gotten better since our first game.
Yeah.
So I still think we beat them.
All right. Cowboys, Niners, honestly.
Here we go.
What's up?
This is going to be a fun one.
I was actually going to say we don't have to talk about this too much because it was a fourth quarter kind of almost comeback by the Cowboys.
That's just another garbage time stat pad from Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but also you can also talk about how the Cowboys were leading at halftime and the Niners had the third quarter explosion as well. So two quarter explosions, but man, Niners are back to 500. And Christian McCaffrey is ramping up to start playing soon.
They need him.
So
they need him,
especially with Ayuk out for the season, which I know he didn't have the greatest of years this year, but still bad to see.
You definitely need him.
True.
Going forward.
But I honestly don't have many comments about this game.
I don't either. I mean, this is kind of the result we expected. Cowboys, although at first they looked like they were, I said last week, if you can't stop the run, you're not going to win this game. And at first, it looked like they were doing just fine. They were getting some hits in the backfield. They were only allowing 1 to 2 to 3 yard rushes. But
hell yeah.
I mean, game goes on, players get tired, and then you start having
second half adjustment.
I don't even remember who the guy's name is, but Jordan Mason's backup came in and just started ripping.
Guerrero.
Yeah, just started ripping 15-yard rushes, 20-yard rushes like it was nothing.
Yeah, Guerrero did well.
And at that point in the game, I was like, okay, it's over.
Yeah,
I mean, they can't stop the run. And even when Cowboys were stopping the run, Brock Purdy was airing it out. I'll give credit to where it's due.
Finally
he was slinging the rock.
Finally, give credit where it's due.
Putting it
undefeated against the Cowboys.
Yep, putting it where it needed to go, getting it to the open guys, and yeah, I mean
the rivalry of the 80s and 90s of now the 2020s is still the Niners.
Cowboys, your season's over. Yeah, I don't know what you do. Someone's got to assassinate Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
honestly,
bad day.
I hope he lives forever. I'm gonna say that every week, but
bad day to be a New York fan right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about the Giants at all. I'm talking about the city. But
yeah, screw them.
Giants lose by 8.
I'm loving it. And the Jets
defensive
lost.
4 sacks to pick the takeaway. But I think the story of the game is really two things. Tracy pulling up with about 140 yards and a touchdown of rushing. But Russell Wilson, man, slinging that pigskin. Everyone's like, where the hell was this in Denver? Looks good. It finally looks like that offense is not the 1950s offense that we're used to seeing.
Arthur Smith knows ball.
Not
Was it an Arthur Smith problem or a Desmond Ridder problem? I think we found our answer. Because Russell Wilson is balling out.
It was definitely an Arthur Smith problem.
All right, let's pipe down.
It
Russell Wilson.
No, it was definitely. No, we're not moving on from that. It was an Arthur Smith problem. That man did not give Bijan the fucking ball. All right.
Well, he's giving it to Najee Harris, and it is working. Let me tell you, Najee Harris, 3 games over 100 rushing yards.
Well, I mean, he learned his lesson that if you have a good running back, maybe you should hand the fucking ball off to him, not put in the goddamn backup. Even Jalen Warren had a good amount of rushing yards. So, I will say I think sexy Dexter Lawrence is putting up a case for the depoy.
He is.
So shout out Dexy. But yeah, this was the Steelers game from, expectation as well. You're right, Najee had over 100. George Pickens had that big catch down the sideline. And did the Giants ever break? The Giants at one point had a 50% chance of winning their highest percentage.
They had two chances in the fourth
third.
quarter to tie the game up and go to overtime, and they just didn't execute. So
yeah. So shout out. Shout out Greg Joseph.
Yeah, good one for the Steelers, top of their division. Team we thought was going to be at the bottom of their division, given the talent that was in there, but Mike Tomlin's going to keep winning.
Yep, and the big punt return, special teams was a big thing for this game as well. But Daniel Jones in prime time becomes Daniel Jones in prime time.
Yeah. All right.
Just one more thing before we move on, though. I just want to say it. These are how the playoff standings are sitting now that we are 8 weeks through, going on to week 9. The Chiefs, of course, the 1 seed. Texans, Steelers, and Bills are actually the 4 seed. The last winner.
They have 2 AFC losses.
Yeah, so big right there, but a lot of things can change.
What's
Broncos.
that wild card?
This wild card?
Yeah.
Broncos top of the wild card.
That's what I like to see.
Ravens, Chargers. Colts, Bengals at 9. Dolphins at 10.
So you're saying the Colts, Bengals, and Dolphins are all looking in?
They're all looking in at teams that are not above 500 and lower than 500.
Okay.
But Titans are currently the worst team in the AFC and the second worst team in football. Here we go to the NFC. The Lions top it with the Commanders, Falcons, and Cardinals rounding out your division winners. The Lions would match up with the bye, and then it would be the Commanders, Eagles, 2-7, 3-6 Falcons, Vikings, 4-5 Cardinals, and Packers. Bears, Bucks, and Niners looking in. Seahawks are the 11, and they're 4-4.
And the Giants and Panthers, your season's over.
Your season's over.
Oh, and Cowboys. Sorry, I forgot that. And Saints.
Yeah,
and the Saints. All right, we have 4 teams
Cowboys,
in the NFC.
Yeah, Cowboys.
And then we have how many in the AFC? Let's see. Jets,
Titans, Jets, Patriots, Jags, Raiders, Browns, and Dolphins are all at 2 wins.
You can throw the Bengals in there. Their season's over.
No, there's a lot of football left.
No,
there's a lot of damn football left.
It's over for them.
So
it's over.
I will take a bet. I'll take a bet with you that one of these teams makes the playoffs.
Which one?
Any of these teams make the playoffs.
No, name all the teams.
Bengals down.
I think the Dolphins will make the playoffs.
All right. You've got 2 and 5?
I'll make a bet the Bengals don't make the playoffs.
I won't make that bet.
Exactly. All right.
That's just one team. I wanted the field.
And I'm not going to bet against the field in week 8. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, there's a lot of season left, so you know that one of those teams can make the playoffs.
Yeah, and that one team is not the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right.
You want to move on?
Let's move on.
All right.
You have a little fun segment today.
I got something for you.
I'll come with a segment on Friday.
That works. You've seen the I guess the reality shows, those home makeovers, building my dream home. Stuff like that,
MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
House Hunters type stuff, HGTV. All right, let's hear it.
So the trade deadline's in a week from today, actually. You got 7 days for teams to finalize their rosters. So I've got 10 players here on a list. Pretty good players, too, that are on pretty shitty teams. Teams that might be looking to make some moves and get ready for their future. So I'm just going to give you these names, and I want you to give me their dream home to go to.
The dream home.
The best place for them to get traded to.
All right.
And I'll go ahead and let you know, most of these players are players that I went out and found that are circling around trade rumors on the trade block. But players that are most likely going to get traded this year. Mm-hmm. Now, a few of these players are on bad teams, but they're not very likely to get traded. It would take a lot for them to get traded, but I thought it'd be fun. Let's see where they might end up.
That's why we're here.
Let's kick it off. Zadarius Smith from the Cleveland Browns. Now, where would his dream home be, Brooks?
I'd love to see him in a Falcons uniform.
Of course you would.
Because the one thing we do need is pass rush.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if someone like a Detroit Lions went out for a little bit of a replacement there. Honestly, I think that could be the Lions' play right there. You lose Aiden Hutchinson, and you need someone on the edge that's going to create a sparks. Darius Smith is a perfect name to do that. And I will make the argument, I wish it was the Falcons because we are last in pass rush, and we are a playoff team. And that would help us. But if there's one team I think that makes the best push, I think it could be the Detroit Lions.
See, I had the Lions up there. I also put the Falcons there.
Yep.
I thought that would be a good signing for them.
I think so as well.
I threw my Eagles in there. They could benefit from another one. I really just thought, I think Zadarius Smith, because I don't think Browns would want to send him to an AFC team, especially not an AFC North team.
Yeah, they won't want to send him to a Ravens.
But they'll probably send him, in my opinion, they'd most likely send him to an NFC contender. And what makes the most sense, like you said, Lions, Falcons. I'd throw the Eagles in there. Mm-hmm. Maybe the Cowboys, but like I said, I think their season's over, so it probably wouldn't be worth it for them. But I don't hate that. I like it. Let's move on. Deontay Johnson from the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh. Deontay Johnson for the Carolina Panthers. So the obvious answer for everyone is always the Chiefs because the Chiefs always want to look for more receivers. Yes. But I don't know if the Chiefs want to look for a receiver that's a slot guy, kind of like Xavier Worthy. I don't know if there's many teams here that actually need a receiver that are up there in the division. Mm-hmm. Maybe someone like a San Francisco 49ers go for a Brandon Ayuk replacement.
I like that one.
That's the one I could see actually the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's trading in conference, but the Panthers probably don't give a crap about in conference at all. That's the one I could see. I don't think the Bills are really going to go for a receiver. Maybe they do. But
I think they're okay with Cooper.
Yeah, I think they're good with the Amari Cooper trade already. So
I don't hate 49ers.
I think the 49ers are actually the best shout. I don't hear you think.
I like to throw out maybe the Chargers. Maybe someone a little more experienced to help bridge this this younger wide receiver core. Yep. But what I really like, even though I'm not a fan of the team, the Commanders. I think for the Commanders to go out and get a guy to play along with Scary Terry and offer more wealth. And again, the rest of that receiving group is young. They traded away Jahan Dotson. They don't really have a true wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I think I like this. You have Jane Daniels playing the way he is, offensive rookie of the year, playing at an MVP level. You go get him another weapon, one to come out of the slot. I like that one too.
I like that too. My thing is as an NFL GM, I love having two receivers. One kind of like a Scary Terry, and one kind of like
fast. You want a possession and you want a speed.
Okay, I was
you want two receivers.
I want a big guy as a receiver who can create problems one-on-one, especially near the red zone. Someone like this is not the best option. Maybe like a Mike Williams. Yeah. Someone who could be a trade block option.
He is on there.
Oh wow. Someone like a.
Or he's not on here. But he's on the trade block.
Someone like a AJ Brown sometimes can go up there and get it. A DK Metcalf.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like.
And then having someone like a, I think the Seahawks do it pretty good. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Tyler Lockett kind of guy. So.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Seahawks do it well. I think the Eagles do it well with Brown and Smith. But I think Scary Terry,
wide receiver is good.
Well, I think Scary Terry can be a one-on-one possession, big body type of guy. But like you were saying, someone to come out of the slot, a route runner like Deontay Johnson. I think that would really benefit for Jane Daniels.
Shout out. Let's do it. Next one.
Jonathan Jones, cornerback from the New England Patriots.
A team that needs cornerback help could be the Baltimore Ravens. They really need some cornerback help.
I like that one too.
That's the one I would be like, Jonathan Jones, immediately I would be the Ravens that should be fielding calls. If I had to be like, again, I don't want to play the AFC-NFC game, but if I had to be the AFC-NFC game, sometimes the Lions struggle in the pass game. The Eagles, like you said, sometimes they have some secondary issues, especially with the cornerback too. Is DeJean going to be that guy?
Yeah.
So
maybe
they stick it there.
I don't think
I like the Commanders. In the
I think the Commanders. I think they need some cornerback help. But if it wouldn't be the Commanders,
I think they're sneaky. So
if we wanted to go back to the AFC, I think this is another Chargers signing potentially.
Okay.
They need some defensive help.
My number one would be if I'm the Ravens, I'm throwing on the phone immediately.
Yeah, Ravens. I like Ravens too.
I'm throwing the phone immediately.
But yeah, Ravens, Chargers, and Commanders would be my 3 for him. I just think those teams are on the fringe, need a little defensive help. They've been getting torched on the outside all year.
The Ravens have been getting torched in the past game.
I think they need that. All right. Another edge rusher. One you might like to see on your Atlanta Falcons.
If it's an edge rusher, I would love to see them on the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, maybe. Chase Young from the New Orleans Saints.
I wouldn't mind seeing him. I don't care if he's a Saint.
I know.
I mean, he's been a Saint for 1 year. He's on a prove it deal. I actually don't know Chase Young's stats off the top of my head.
I don't either. I feel like he kind of falls into the same categories in Darius Smith.
Hold up. Let me. I want to actually know what Chase Young is doing because I saw a lot of slander on his name. Only 2 sacks, 11 tackles. So his value is probably not very high. Someone you can get very cheap. Atlanta, why not go do that if you can get someone for very cheap? Again, those teams that need pass rushers are the Lions, the Falcons. Those teams like that need some help. I wonder what teams specifically need that pass rush help as well. I could look at stats and see what teams are worst in sacks. I know the Falcons are horrible, so
this is the one thing, kind of the opposite for Zadarius Smith, because we projected him being an AFC edge rusher getting sent to the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
If the Saints want to send Chase Young to the AFC, because again he could go to those teams we named earlier, I like the Bills for him.
Okay,
I think that's a team that could use a little bit more pass rush, help get to the quarterback faster. Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be a good spot for him. He's not super expensive, and I think he'd flow really well there. I don't hate him going to the Bills, or maybe even the Steelers.
Chiefs are 25th in sacks right there. So,
Chiefs,
Atlanta's bottom. I mean, other teams are good. Atlanta's the worst by far. We don't even average a sack a game.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying.
We
don't even average a sack a game.
Let's get these edge rushers to Atlanta.
23rd is 2 sacks a game. We average 0.8.
Man, what does Matthew Judon even do?
He gets doubled.
That's fair.
But even then, he's old. So.
All right. Moving on. We got another corner on the list. Greg Newsome from the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns, yeah. So that would definitely not be an in-division trade.
No, he would not go to the Ravens.
You're right. I would like to see a Commanders maybe throw that out there. But if teams that are horrible specifically in the pass game, I'll show you right now. Ravens are by far the worst, but that won't happen. The Vikings are sitting at 263.
How about the Vikings?
How about the Vikings, man?
Yeah.
They should make some moves as well. Depends how the GM feels there with the whole.
I think
kind
they're
of down. But now we have the defense with Brian Flores. We know they've seen a couple cuff games.
I think their offense is kind of starting to flow. It has been all season.
Couple tough games. I would like to see the Vikings maybe make a play for that. You know, that could be a good play. But the Lions, I said that as well. It's in at 247. So, yeah, I think the Lions, they wouldn't trade him to the Ravens. Hell no, they wouldn't trade him to the Ravens. So, Lions, go out there, Lions, or Vikings, go out there and make a play. NFC North teams, get on the phone. So
keep it right moving. So this guy's name. He's in the trade rumors. We kind of talked about this last week.
Shout out the Titans, man.
I don't think he will get traded. Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp's value is way too high for him to get traded, and with the Rams, how they're playing, I think the owner and GM are gonna maybe butt heads, but I think him staying is what's gonna win.
Yeah, but let's say for the purpose of this segment, if they wanted to trade him, where would you want him to go and be most successful? See, I think this is another guy the Commanders should look at.
Yeah. I think the Commanders would be good.
Outside of the Commanders, I think the Bills should. I was
going to say that too.
I don't think they would, but that's a guy with his talent and the window you're trying to win with. That's a guy you should trade for.
I was going to say the Bills.
Obviously, the Chiefs would be a good one.
The Chiefs are not going to go after because they got Hop and they already declined that. But I was going to say Bills. But I don't think he gets traded, of course.
No,
but
I don't
for
think
fantasy land, I think the Bills is the best one.
I like the Bills
I like
or
the
Commanders.
Bills.
Or really?
You know why I like the Bills? I don't want to go crazy, but the way Cooper Kupp can just the way he runs routes, if he gets caught the first 3-4 seconds and Allen improvises, I love Kupp to get open. He does it so well. So
on another team, the Ravens. help Lamar Jackson with some
interesting.
help.
It could be an interesting one.
I don't know if they would have the money for that or the assets that they'd want to give up.
So,
but that'd be a good team.
Okay.
I think he'd be good on that team. All right. Now, this is kind of the players that I don't think they're going to be traded. I don't think they're on the block, but they're on very shitty teams.
Is that the first name I think I see?
So these are very shitty teams. They're on very shitty teams.
There's no way you say that name, dude.
Yeah,
I shouldn't even entertain it.
I thought it'd be fun.
All right.
But it's not the first one you see. Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle from the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
They've said they don't want to trade him.
And they won't trade him.
They won't. They're a terrible team, and he's really good. Where should he go, though? Where would you want to see him?
Oh, a team that sucks at stuffing the run is where he should go, of course. The first thing that popped in my mind was the Ravens, and would you look at that?
Wow.
Actually, they have to do really well in the run game. Cowboys, of course, suck in the run game.
Yeah, but we're not considering them contenders.
Yeah, the Ravens are actually the best team in the run. But if they just stuff that as well, that could maybe help the corners. But then again, they're the best team in the run, and it doesn't help the corners. So that's just me being stupid, probably. A team like the Atlanta Falcons aren't good in the run, right? But if you had a Grady Jarrett pivot with Jeffrey, and boom, right there immediately. What are teams that need help in the run that are good other than the Cowboys? Well, they aren't good. The Bucs aren't so great. Maybe they sneak into the right there, but a team like maybe the Bills, right? They give up over 100 yards a game. A team like the Bears. The Bears have really good pass coverage. The run, not so much.
Yeah, I think the Bears would benefit from this to help bolster their defensive line.
And knowing the NFC North, when you have running backs like Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift is now finding a little bit of a rhythm. Then you have in the backfield for the Lions, you have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. If you could get someone that could stop those runs, could help in division.
Another team, a contending NFC team we haven't really talked about that could definitely use a defensive line boost is the Packers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think they could benefit from an edge rusher or a defensive tackle trade, especially at this caliber. Yeah, I think that'd be good for them.
Yeah,
to help slow, especially when they have to go up against the Lions, when they have to play Gibbs and Montgomery. But now we're gonna get to the players who are not going to get traded, but they're on terrible teams, and we're just going to have fun with this.
Please don't say the name, the one name I saw.
I'll save it for last. How about that?
No, you can say it.
No, I'll save it for last.
All right.
So we'll skip that one. So let's do this one. Dexter Lawrence.
Sexy Dexy won't move.
Sexy Dexy. He won't get traded. He's the defensive player of the year in our eyes. But the Giants are terrible. They're not going to win shit in his lifetime.
Win shit.
So let's entertain the idea. Where would his dream home be?
Maybe move to the one team in New York.
Oh, do you want him to go to the Jets?
The one team in New York.
Oh, sorry.
The Bills.
Oh.
The Bills. I mean, I could see him being a great Bills player. I think if we're right, I think the fans would totally embrace.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dexter Lawrence, and he'd be great, especially for both the run, but specifically the pass game. Leads the league in sacks.
Yeah, as a nose tackle.
It's a nose tackle.
Again,
impressive.
I like the Packers for this.
Okay,
I think they very well would benefit from
those.
Are
two teams that are great fans.
Yeah, I really think he would have a lot of fun in Green Bay. Again, contending teams.
But shout out the Bills, man. I think it could be the Bills if it was a fantasy trade.
It's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Next.
All right, Jonathan Taylor.
JT. A team that needs help with the run. The Vikings always need help with the run.
Yeah, I think what they have is fine. I don't think they would shell out for Jonathan Taylor, considering what they have with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler.
True. But Aaron Jones went out for a little bit, so hopefully he gets healthy. You're right. Totally forgot about Aaron Jones because I've been watching. I haven't seen him. I was like, oh shit, totally forgot. Yeah, that's a good running back right there.
He's been doing fine.
Of course, the Cowboys are the worst run team.
Again, they're not really contenders.
All right.
We said this. We talked about this team already. I like the Commanders.
Commanders are a really good run team.
Yeah,
but Brian Robinson.
No Brian Robinson?
No, Brian. They have Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson.
And Austin Eckler.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think Jonathan Taylor would just be a better version of Austin Eckler and split him in that back with Brian Robinson. I think they'd have a really good run game.
Isaiah Pacheco is supposed to come back, but if somehow there's an issue with his return,
Chiefs would be a good one.
I think the Chiefs would throw so much to get him.
Yeah. See, I was going at the beginning of the year. I would have
the Bears.
I like him in Swift.
The Bears.
I would have. I set up here, and I was thinking earlier in the season he would be a good guy for maybe the Steelers to go out and sign. But Najee Harris has been killing it.
Najee Harris has been doing well. So
I don't want
Najee running his jeans.
Don't want to step on anyone's toes over there. But the Bengals, although I don't really consider them contenders, they could
need a running. They definitely need a running back.
Jonathan Taylor.
You might as well, if you're gonna shoot for the stars this season, you might as well go out and get them. So,
do you want to do this last one real quick? We're a little short on time, so we need to go fast.
They'll do it quick, and we'll laugh at it, and then we'll move on.
All right, that's good. We know wide receivers are divas.
Oh yeah, so it is the name I saw.
Yeah, wide receivers are divas. They don't want to. They don't want to stay on shit.
I would
teams.
say if that stupid name that you put down had to go to a team,
the Chargers.
Fuck no.
Yeah, they would throw it. They would sell out for them.
No, they would. No, they would keep the run game. That's what they do best.
Okay, but if they keep, all right, the name's CeeDee Lamb, by the way. Let's throw that out there. I like to see him go to the Chargers.
Didn't he just sign a new deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not moving at all.
Again, this is scenarios that aren't gonna happen, but we're just gonna entertain.
Chiefs throw 4 first-rounders for him.
I'd rather see the Chargers do it. That if the Chargers had CeeDee Lamb, and they had a healthy offense or healthy defense along with that run game, I might put them over the Chiefs. I'm sorry. They're playing pretty well. All right, you can keep saying like that. Let's move on to Thursday night. So,
that was the most blasphemous statement.
Brooks doesn't like to have fun like I do, I guess.
No, I was gonna say that you would rather him be a Charger than a Chief, like for his career. Think about his career, not thinking about like fans. Cause I hate the Chiefs, of course. Right. No one wants to see repeat success, and they want to see parity. But you think he would do better on the Chargers than the Chiefs? And you think the Chargers would be better than the Chiefs?
I think if he went to the Chargers or the Chiefs, I think he'd have very similar careers.
No. Not with Jim Harbaugh, coach, running the football like that.
I don't know. I think that really opens up the play action.
Bro, if he's on the Chargers, it would open the play action. If he's on the Chiefs, throw, they're running an end around. Travis Kelce's throwing a 30-yard bomb to him. He's laughing his ass off. Having a good time, so
I think he does.
And he has Mahomes.
I think he does just as well on either team.
All right.
I thought Justin Herbert was a good quarterback.
Let's move on to Thursday night.
A Halloween game.
Yeah. Totally forgot about that. Thursday night football on Amazon Prime.
Yes, that's time. We gotta make this fast.
All right. Texans, Jets. Jets are favored by 1.5.
No.
Texans go on the road where they have struggled a little bit to go on the road. We both have the Texans. Can you do me a favor? What's the weather looking like? Do you know?
I can pull it up. Although right now I have Jets -2.
And I got bumped. The weather is looking like
the weather doesn't matter.
degrees.
The Texans win this game. Why are we even talking about this? Texans win.
The books know. The books know something. You can get tickets as low as $16.
Houston money line is +1. I'm sorry, we got to end this. I got to make a parlay. Jets lose. Texans win. Jets suck. Their season's over.
I'll make a parlay right now.
All right, let's go ahead and end it out then.
All right, bet.
Jets suck. That's what
we
we're
both got the
with.
Texans because I don't like the Jets either.
That's what we're ending with. The Jets suck.
Jets. All right, well, that's our little fun episode right there. That'll be everything for Nothing and Green. A little bit longer episode, but thank y'all for listening, and peace.